Imagine this. It's a sweltering hot day, and you see someone just collapse. Your next move? Well, it could literally save their life. So is it heat exhaustion, or is it the much, much more dangerous heat stroke? Knowing the difference is absolutely critical. So let's break down exactly what you need to look for so you can make that all-important call.
All right, to make this really hit home, we're going to walk through a case study. So picture it. A local park, blazing hot day, and someone goes down. And look, this isn't just some made-up scenario, right? This is something that happens every single summer. So here's our patient. He's a 30-year-old guy and he's just collapsed. The clock is already ticking, and what we can figure out in these first few moments is going to be crucial. So let's take a look at the initial clues we've got right there on the scene. Okay, when first responders get there, they notice three main things. He's clearly disoriented, not really with it. Then they touch his skin. It's hot, but it's also kind of moist. And his breathing, it's really fast and shallow. These are the pieces of the puzzle we've got to put together.
So these clues, they're pointing us in a couple very different directions. And figuring out which one is right, it's not just some trivia question. We're talking about understanding immediate danger, because the outcome for each of these conditions is worlds apart.
So you've got two main possibilities here. On one hand, you've got heat exhaustion. Now that's serious, for sure, but you can often manage it with some pretty simple steps. But on the other hand, you have heat stroke. And that, my friends, is a full-blown medical emergency. It can cause permanent damage or even death if you don't act fast. So, how in the world do you tell them apart?
Well, it turns out that with all the different symptoms flying around, it really boils down to just two key things. These two clues will almost always give you the answer. Seriously, if you remember anything from this, remember this next part. Okay, check this out. The big difference really comes down to this simple breakdown. For heat exhaustion, the person is usually alert and their skin is cool and moist. But for heat stroke, their mental status is altered and their skin is hot. So thinking about our guy in the park, his skin is hot and he's disoriented, that seems to point pretty clearly to one thing, right?
And let's be super clear about what we mean by altered mental status. It's any change from how that person normally is. So confusion, disorientation, anything like that. Remember, our guy was disoriented. That's a textbook sign. They don't have to be passed out cold. Even just being confused is a huge red flag.
But hang on a second. There's one little detail from our case study that might make you pause and look at that simple chart again. It's a super common point of confusion, and, getting this wrong can be really dangerous.
And here it is, the thing that trips people up. Remember, our patient's skin was hot and moist. So does the fact that it's moist mean we can rule out heat stroke? Does it mean it has to be something else?
And this brings us to probably the single most important takeaway of this whole thing. This is straight from clinical guidance. It says, and I want you to really hear this, do not rule out heat stroke just because the patient's skin is moist. This is a huge critical myth that absolutely needs to be busted.
So you're probably asking, well, why is the skin moist then? It's actually pretty simple. With heat stroke, the body's internal air conditioner, sweating, it's failed, it's shut down. But that doesn't mean all the sweat that was already there just instantly disappears. There can still be some leftover sweat on the skin. This is especially common if the person was doing something active when they collapsed. We call that exertional heat stroke.
Okay, so let's put it all together now. We've got the initial clues, we know the key things that separate these two conditions, and we've just busted a really dangerous myth. It's time to make the final call for our guy in the park.
So the verdict? It's crystal clear. That altered mental status and the hot skin, those are the two definitive signs. The moisture on his skin, that's just a distractor. It's not a disqualifier. This man is suffering from heat stroke and he needs emergency medical help, like right now.
So if you ever find yourself in a situation like this, here's what you need to remember. It's a simple two-step check. Step 1, check their mental status. Are they with it or are they confused? Step 2, touch their skin. Does it feel crazy hot? Those two answers will tell you almost everything you need to know.
It sounds like a simple difference, but it's one with life or death stakes. Are they altered or are they alert? Is their skin hot or is it cool? That's really the heart of it. So now you have the knowledge to know what you're looking at in that critical moment. The only question left is, could you make the critical call when it really truly matters?